Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. This is going to be probably a very quick look at hive number 7, which was the backyard swarm I caught in April. However, sometime between mid-July and now, I'll show you the front entrance here in a second, it looks like the backyard swarm did not survive. And there, I know this really won't come up on camera, but there's a lot of remnants of dead bees right outside the front entrance here. So given what the front entrance looks like, given the fact the entrance has absolutely no activity, let's take a look at old number 7. Caught up on a whole bunch of vines. Let's take a look at number 7 real quick and see what kind of mess, what kind of surprise I have for starters, and what kind of mess I have ahead of me due to what I'm assuming is a dead out. Oh, okay, well, we got a bee in here just kind of hanging out. I was honestly surprised to see that. I'm just gonna pop this top box off because I don't think, yeah, oh yeah. Oh, check this out. Oh. Sometimes I wish I could just be surprised and not find this. If you don't know, this is either the greater or lesser wax moth, and they wreak havoc to hives that become weak and or especially once they die. So as gross as this is, and believe me, I've been keeping bees for a few years now, this is still as gross now as it is when I first started. So yeah, very unfortunate. Very expected when you see a hive that you know was alive and doing well and has absolutely no signs of life, more signs of death. This is unfortunately what I expect to find. But for any keepers out there that don't know this wax is perfectly salvageable. Not in this state. So what takes place, I'll explain this quickly. I will literally scrape all this wax off. Do this right here, scrape all the remnants of the wax moths off. There's a live one right there. These things are just nasty. Doing my job at repopulating the wax moth population. Yeah, so I'll scrape all that off into a 5-gallon bucket, and then eventually I will boil all this down. And believe it or not, this nastiness, all this nastiness here, will eventually render down to extremely beautiful, clean beeswax that you can use for many things. You can make candles, you can use it for lip balms. What I do, I put it all into a crock pot once it's really clean, turn on the heat, reliquefy it, let it cool, and then at that point it's just in storage, really, like cold storage. And then whenever I need it, I just turn the crock pot on, let it reliquefy, and I take I think like a 4-inch, maybe a 6-inch paint roller, depending on the frame size, dip it in the wax, and I'll recoat or heavily coat my frames. My foundations, like this one. I can reuse all this equipment, so there's no real loss, but I'll recoat it heavily with wax, and I can reuse the foundation, and the bees will draw it out pretty quickly because it's coated so heavily with fresh wax. So, excuse me, as nasty as this is, don't get discouraged, because like I said, you can actually salvage this equipment fairly easily. It does take a little work, but some things in life that take work are more worth it. And salvaging precious wax, to me, as a beekeeper, is 100% worth it. Alright, so, well, that does it for hive number 7. Like I said, very short video. Pretty much knew what I was going to find due to the signs of the front entrance being no signs of life. So again, not surprised. This kind of stuff happens. And out of the 9 hives I have in this yard, probably going to find this about 3 more times. There's 5 hives that show life, there's 4 that don't. Pretty sure this is what I'm going to find on those 4, or from the remaining 3. So 4 hives died in the last 2 months. Various reasons, between the heat, between lack of rain, between too much rain, between not feeding them, lack of resources because the area is going through a dearth. The list goes on and on and on. So, in order to end on a positive note, look at that fatso. In order to end on a positive note, oh, that's nasty. All right, I'll stop. You know, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. We always appreciate that. Everybody that subscribes, all 1,012 of you currently as of October 2nd. I take that as you saying thank you to me and my family for doing what we do and sharing the content that we share. So if you haven't subscribed and you're watching this video, 1, please do so. 2, if you hit the bell, you receive notifications of future videos. And 3, check us out on Instagram and Facebook by searching at Coles Farm NC, or if you're on YouTube, which you're watching this, you are. Navigate to our homepage, look at the top right of our banner, and you'll see hyperlinks for Instagram and YouTube, I believe. And it'll take you right to those pages. Hit like, hit follow, whatever the case may be, and you know, just show us some support that way. Finally, if you're in or around Jacksonville, North Carolina, and you're looking for some delicious local and raw honey, we do have some available for sale from this year's harvest, which took place in June. This yard produces an extremely beautiful light yellow amberish hue honey. It is absolutely beautiful. It is absolutely delicious. Check out the reviews on Facebook and Google Maps, and you'll see people basically saying the same thing. That's not just me from a biased standpoint because it's our honey, but it is truly delicious. It really is. If you don't believe me, buy a jar and try it for yourself. And by purchasing a jar, you help us continue to do what we do here. We are a very small company. We are an active duty owned, family operated honeybee hobby farm in southwest Onslow County. And all of our profits go right back into this hobby with the intent of taking it commercial one day after I retire from serving our country. So anyway, we do appreciate the support. The honey purchases do exactly that. They support the hobby with the idea of turning this into something a little bigger one day. So with all of that said, I will see y'all in 2022, because this is the last time I'm going to be in the bee yard, especially inspecting the hives for this year. So this was my 9th inspection for 2021 and my final inspection. So happy holidays in advance. Happy New Year's, and I will see everybody in 2022 at some point. All right, thanks for watching, everybody.